Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good evening, everyone. Monday Sutta discussion day 70, I think it's day 73. And today's topic is going to be who created this puppet? Puppet in Pali means, we translate puppet to be bimbaṃ. Bimbaṃ is puppet, but it's kind of a simile. I would say it's not a simile. It's kind of a metaphor. So bimbaṃ is body. So in this conversation, in this sutta, a conversation between Mara and the Bhikkhuni Selā is going on, and Mara was using the word called bimbaṃ for body. So to Mara, this body is a puppet, which is a very good term for us to use in terms of figuring out our body from an ultimate perspective. Okay, so let's take a look at the sutta. Okay, Selā Sutta. Before that, I want to show you the sutta is Samyutta Nikaya, 5th Samyutta and 9th Sutta. And in this sutta, what we can say is that Mara asked the nun Selā about who has created this puppet, the form that has been reincarnated. She replies that there is no creator, but it arises as a result of conditions, like the growing of a seed in a field. Let's take a look at the Pali first to understand that. Selā Sutta. Selā is the name of the Bhikkhuni, nun. Sāvatti Nidanam. Atako Selā Bhikkhuni, Ubbana Samayang Nivasetva. Anyatarasming Rukkamule, Diva Viharang Isedi. Atako Maru Papima Selāya Bhikkhuniya Bhayang Chambitatang Lomahansang Uppadetu Kamo Selang Bhikkhuni Gathaya Ajabasi. So now we're going to take a look at the English translation to understand what it really meant. Okay. At Sāvatti, then the nun or Bhikkhuni Selā robed up in the morning and sat at the root of a tree for the day's meditation. So she was associating this, what do you call them? Dhutangas. I don't think it's a Dhutanga, but she was associating a tree for the daily meditation. Then Mara, the wicked, wanting to make the nun Selā feel fear, terror, and goosebumps. So we're gonna use the words called fear is bimbaṃ, and let me see. Chambitatang is terror, and Lomahansang is goosebumps. So bimbaṃ is fear, Chambitatang is terror, and Lomahansang means goosebumps, address her inverse. So it looks like that Bhikkhuni Selā was still what do you call a Putujjana at this point, I guess. That's why she was feared and she was terrified, and she was horripilated, I would say. Goosebumps. She got goosebumps because of this particular person called Mara. So Mara, I think Mara didn't come in a way that could be recognized by this Bhikkhuni Selā, but Bhikkhuni Selā could understand what kind of a person he was at that point. So let's take a look at the rest. Okay. Then Mara the wicked, warning to make the nun Selā feel fear, terror, and goosebumps, address her in verse. So let's take a look at the Pali verse 2. I'm sorry, I had to switch to two screens. Okay. Kenidang pakatang bimbaṃ, quanu bimbassa karako, quanu bimbaṃ samuppannam, quanu bimbaṃ nirujjati. Now here, bimbaṃ is the body, and it was treated as a puppet. And kenidam pakatam bimbaṃ, quanu bimbassa karako, quanu bimbaṃ samuppannam, quanu bimbaṃ nirujjati. So in simple English, I can translate this way. Ke nidang pakatam bimbaṃ. So what's the genesis? What's the origin of this body, which is called to be a puppet? Quanu bimbassa karako. So who created this puppet? So Mara used the word called puppet. In English we call bimba for this body. Quanu bimbassa karako. So who created this puppet-like body? It's a puppet-like body, or puppet. Quanu bimbaṃ samuppannam. How was it arisen? How this body was, or puppet-like body was arisen? Quanu bimbaṃ nirujjati. How is this puppet-like body cease? Right? So let's take the translation of Bhikkhu Sujata. See. Who created this puppet? Where is its maker? Where has the puppet arisen? And where does it cease? It's pretty clear that the puppet means the body. So who created this body? Where is its maker? Which means who built it? Which is, of course, today's topic. Where has the puppet arisen? And how it was arisen? Or where has it been arisen? And where does it cease? Okay. Now this is a question that was raised by Mara, so which is pretty interesting, because nobody thinks about Mara in a way that Mara is kind of raising a question like this real, this deep. Like when you take a look at the sutta, as a whole, we understand the purpose behind Mara's, plan was to check examine whether, investigate whether Bhikkhuni Selā is conscious of the samsara, and then the five objects, what you call the properties of Mara, which are called rupa, sabda, gandha, rasa, pottabha, and Dhamma. And the ulterior motive behind Mara's plan was to check whether Bhikkhuni Selā was really conscious about these things. And I also think that maybe Mara thought that Bhikkhuni Selā would attain Nibbana this day, and he wanted to stop that happening, right? He doesn't like people attaining Nibbana, so he wanted to stop that happening too. And let's go to the rest of the sutta. Okay. Atako Selaya Bhikkhuniya etadahosi. Okay, now what happens is the Bhikkhuni now thought to herself, Konu kwayang manusova amanusova gatang bhasati. Now she was kind of surprised. What kind of a person is this? And she was still thinking uh, who this person is, and she was kind of like flabbergasted in a sense. Atako selaya bhikkhuniya etadagosi. She thought to herself, Konu kwayang manusova amanusuva gatamba. So, she was questioning whether this is a human or a non-human, right? Atako selaya bhikkhuniya etadagosi. Maroko ayang papima mama bhayang chambitatang lumhansang. Uppaditu kamo. Samadimha Chavetu kamo gatam basati. So her guess was right. It was correct. Her guess was right, and she was thinking, I was trying to trance into my meditation, and I'm thinking, what kind of person is this? So trying to ask this question, right? Now let's go to the English translation. Let's see. Then the nun Selā thought, who is speaking this verse, a human or a non-human? Then she thought, this is Mara, the wicked, wanting to make me feel fear. Bhaya, terror is chambitat, and goosebumps is what you call lomhans, wanting to make me fall away from immersion. That means meditation, concentration. So she knew that this is Mara, and he wanted to distract me from my meditation, which will help me, becoming, extra-mundane person, right? And then what happens? Then Selā, knowing that this was Mara, the wicked, replied to him in verse. Okay, now these are the three verses that she recited in reply to Mara. So let's read in Pali first, and then I will, read the English translation continuously. Okay. Naidang atta katang bimbaṃ, naidang parakatang agang, hetung paticca sambhutang, hetu bhanga niruchyate. It's a very famous stanza in Tripitaka studies, Buddhist studies. Yata anyatarang bijang, kette buttang viruhati, patavi rasancha gamma, sinehancha kadubhayam. Evaṃ kandacha dhatuyo, chacha ayatana ime, hetung paticca sambhuta, hetu bhanga nirujjareti. Atako maru papima janati mama Selā bhikkhuni ti dukhi dumano tatte vantaradai. Okay. And once she figured out that this is Mara, and she reply in three verses, and Mara understood that this bhikkhuni, having understood that I am Mara, and she replied, and he was really unhappy. Mara was really unhappy, and he vanished with a very sad face. But let's take a look at the formal English translation here, and you will know the meaning of those three verses. Okay. This puppet is not self-made. That means this body is not self-made. Nor is this misery made by another. Okay, so this puppet is not self-made, nor is this miserly made by another. It comes to be because of a cause and ceases when the cause breaks up. Now we need to understand this, the idea behind this, stanza, which means this body is not self-made. Nor is this made by another person. So it was not made by. It's not self-made. It wasn't made by other people, right? It comes to be because of a cause and ceases when the cause breaks up. So the cause is tanha. Tanha is the cause why we come to be, and when we cease tanha, that means the cause is broken up, right? So we are going continuously in the samsara because we never know what this avijja is. Avijja, as I told you last Monday, avijja means not understanding the Four Noble Truths. That is avijja. Because of avijja, we going to crave for a lot of things, including people. And then what happens? This course of having tanha takes us in the samsara. So the body, which has the 5 aggregates and 18 dhatus and then 6 sense bases, they are made from a cause, and they were not caused by oneself or somebody else. They were caused by tanha. And then what happens whenever you are not encouraging tanha, and then you are into vidya, the opposite side of avijja, then you are not letting it continue. By attaining any kind of spiritual stage with a destination of nibbana. So this body is not self-made. Now, the reason is that people saying that I was born, I'm gonna be born, not I was and I'm gonna be, I will be. It is because of a cause. The cause is your tanha. So tanha is the cause, and tanha makes the puppet. The body is the puppet. So puppet, why it was called a puppet? The puppet means body of anybody, because this body has nothing but panchakanda, 5 aggregates, 18 dhatus, and 6 or 12 bases. So it is merely a puppet. You know the puppeting, right? The people who do puppeting, like puppets, who make puppets, and puppets have nothing, right? It's just kind of a thing that people enjoy, but they know that there is no vitality, there is no mind with the puppet. So this is really a puppet. But you might say this: we have the mind, but the thing is that this mind is not eternal, right? It traverses from one place to the other place, but you can't call there is somebody. Because of that, this is merely a puppet which has only the 5 aggregates, 18 dhatus elements, and 12 bases. So that's the main thing. And because of this reason, we are not self-made, no, made by other people. So we can't even say we, because there is a cause which made us to be like this. That is tanha. But basically, we are with tanha because we don't understand, we are not able to understand avijja, right? So that is the main clarification, elaboration behind this puppet concept, how the puppet thing is compared to a body, right? This puppet isn't self-made, the body is not self-made, nor is this misery made by another. It comes to be because of a cause and ceases when the cause breaks up. So the cause is tanha. So when you cease your tanha, and the cause breaks up, and it won't be there any longer, right? So puppet is a I would say it's a metaphor. It's like a metaphoric interpretation for the body, which has a truth, because Mara is the one who uses puppet here. You see, who created this puppet? So Mara, in our understanding, he is the one who likes us to attach to puppet, but he himself uses puppet for the body. I mean, which is pretty interesting. So if Mara uses the word called bimbaṃ, or puppet, to the body, then we should use it, because Mara is the one who enticing, who motivating us to, hey, enjoy comforts and enjoy images, enjoy sounds, enjoy smells, enjoy taste, enjoy comfort, enjoy thoughts, and he wants us to enjoy. Because they are the mental properties. They are the properties of the Mara. But if he, while being happy of looking at people enjoying those things, if he's gonna use this bimba for the body, I mean, in English we call it puppet, then why don't we use it? So actually, this body is a puppet. It's true. That's why Bhikkhuni Selā replied to Mara, yes, this is a puppet, and this was not made by, this was not self-made, made by other people, but it was made by a cause. When the cause is ceased, it's the puppet is broken up. It's pretty interesting. Let's see the meanings of the other two stanzas. It's like a seed that's sown in a field. It grows, relying on both the soil's nutrients as well as moisture. So we know that in order to in order to grow well for a seed, it relies on both soil's nutrients and as well as moisture. Otherwise, it won't be like that. In the same way, the aggregates and elements, panchakanda and dhatu, there are 18 dhatus. So panchakanda is rupa, vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana, right? So the puppet is consisted of these three things: aggregates, panchakanda, and then elements, 18 elements, and the sixth sense field, 6 ayatanas. So what are the 5 aggregates? We call them rupa kanda, vedana kanda, sanya kanda, sankhara kanda, rupa vedana sanya kanda, sankhara kanda, vijnana kanda. Rupa vedana sanya sankhara vijnana. And then what are the 18 elements? Dhatu, chakku dhatu, rupa dhatu, chakku vijnana dhatu. Right? So eye is an element dhatu, and rupa is an element dhatu, and chakku vijnana is an element. So there are 3. Sota dhatu, saddha dhatu, sota vijnana dhatu. Ghana dhatu, gandha dhatu, ghana vijnana dhatu. And then jivha dhatu, rasa dhatu, jivha vijnana dhatu. Kaya dhatu, pottabba dhatu, kaya vijnana dhatu. Mano dhatu, dhamma dhatu, mano vijnana dhatu. So now you can multiply 3 by 6. You will see the equal is 18. So there are 18. So the 6 indriyas and 6 what do you call aramanas? 6 indriyas, 6 aramanas, 6 vijnanas. So then you get the number 18. So there are 18 elements, 5 aggregates. This puppet comprises of 5 aggregates, 18 elements, and then 6 sense bases called chakku is a base, eye is a base, sota, ear is a base, ghana is a base, that means nose is a base, jivha is a base, means tongue is a base, and body is a base, which is called kaya, ayatana, chakkayatana, sotayatana, ghana-ayatana, jivha-ayatana, kaya-ayatana, mana. So mind is a base, right? So the Bhikkhuni, Selā, replies to Mara, this puppet is nothing but an inclusion of 5 aggregates, 18 elements, and 6 sense bases. And then, in the same way, the aggregates and elements and these 6 sense bases come to be because of a cause, and cease when the cause breaks. So the cause is tanha. When the tanha is ceased, then the cause is broken up too. Then Mara the wicked, thinking the nun Selā knows me, miserable and sad, vanish right there. I have a question for you, Dhamma friends. Do you want to make Mara sad? If you really want to make Mara sad, try to keep this understanding with you. Always think, this body is not self-made, nor made by other people. It was made because of a cause. When the cause is ceased, the puppet is broken up. If you know this, if you can explain this to somebody else, you are making Mara very sad. He's very unhappy. He can't do anything. But because of this interesting person, Mara is such an interesting person. So I want to talk about him in some detail. So I want to talk about him in different contexts based on the Buddhist text. Let me see. Yes, we're gonna disappoint Mara, but be careful, because if you are trying to be angry because of disappointing Mara, you might be in problem. So you are wise. You are not making yourself into raga, dosa, moha, and then you are developing this understanding. Let me show you some information that I have for you about Mara. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to be using some, a description used by G.P. Malasekar from the book called Dictionary of Pali Proper Names, and I'm using his notes, but you can look it up too. So Mara, let me see a picture of Mara. Okay, this guy, and I'm using Buddha Weekly, and you see. This is kind of like an imaginary, illustration of Mara, but it looks like a terrible person. We have to find out what is he doing. Okay. So Buddhaghosa is the commentary and says that Mara is so called because he destroys all those who seeks to evade him. Okay. Keep that in mind. He wants to destroy all of us because he doesn't like who want to evade from panchakamas, right? Rupa, Saddha, Gandha, Rasa, Dhamma. So if anyone is trying to escape from these 6, he's gonna prey on those people, like all of us. He's happy when people are enjoying rupas, saddhas, gandhas, rasas, potappas, dhammas, images, sounds, smells, taste, contact, and the thoughts. Pali we call attano visayang atikkamitum patipanne satte mareti iti maru. Means because he destroys all those who seek to evade him. He's called Vasavatti. This term is pretty popular because this is the term we use to understand the head god in the heaven called Paranimita Vasavatti, because the head god of Paranimita Vasavatti, the highest heaven in the Buddhist teaching, is called Vasavatti because he rules all. Maro nama Vasavatti sabbesang uparivasang vattati. Now here, the reason why he is Vasavatti means that he is the one who controls everybody in this Kama Vachara world. Now, Kamavachara world includes a lot of places, 4 hells, human place, and 6 heavens, right? So there are apparently 4, 5, and 11 places, right? So he is the one who is controlling. He gets everybody in these realms, including human world. Kali or Kala is the mother of Mara of the present age. So Mara is also changing. So the Mara, which we know at the Buddha time, he is a different guy, and his mother was Kali or Kala, generally regarded as the personification of death, the evil one, the tempter, the Buddhist counterpart of the devil or principle of destruction. The legends concerning Mara are in the books very involved and defy any attempts at unraveling them. In the latest accounts, mention is made of 5 Maras. Now, in my understanding, these are 5 personification of Mara, but I would understand the main type of Mara that we are sort of struggling is this, the last one, which is called Devaputta Mara. He's the one who was always appearing and then troubling people, and even the Buddha and his disciples. So he's called Devaputta Mara, but Kandamara, Kilesamara, Abhisankaramara, Machumara, Devaputtamara. So if we think Devaputtamara is the main person, and all these are personification of Devaputtamara. So Devaputtamara is the head god of the highest heaven, which is called Paranimita Vasavatti. Because of the nature, Dhamma friends, this is still at debates, but I think these 4, Kandamara, which means aggregates, Kilesamara means defilements, Abhisankaramara means karmas, good, bad, neutral karmas, Machumara is death. So I think that these 4 types of Maras, they are personification of Devaputta Mara. Because Devaputta Mara is the one that we know as a person. Also, we know him as a person who approached the Buddha and his disciples. Even in this case, even in the case of Bhikkhuni Selā, who won people and those other spiritual people, to stop their meditative things so that they are not exiting the Kamavachara world. Let me see other names. Mara bears many names in Pali literature. Kanha, Adipati, Antaka, Namuchi, Pamatta Bandhu. Now, Bandhu is a relative, Pamatta is a delayed relative, right? What are the other epithets? Papima, we use the Papima in this sutta too. And then Anattakama, Ahitakama, Ayoga Kema Kama. Now, Yoga Kema is oasis, and the epithet that is used to understand Mara in here, Ayoga Kema. So he is not taking us to an oasis, he's taking us to this samsara. Why he was called Namuchi? You can say Namuchi here. Mara is called Namuchi because none can escape him. In the text, it is said that nobody can escape from him unless someone is really serious about the spiritual practice and then really focusing on these sensual things as a disturbance to one's spiritual path. Mara as a Devaputta. Mara as the personification of evil came to be mixed legends of an actual Devaputta. Now, this is what I also told you. Mara also called Vasavatti because he was an inhabitant of the Paranimita Vasavatti Deva world. Now, we can see this in couple suttas. And these are some of the places where Buddha mentions Mara as an impediment to bypass or to cross. Let me read a couple. Those who can restrain the mind and check its propensities or properties can escape the snares of Mara. So if we can restrain the mind and check the mental properties, and we have a way out from the snares of Mara. So we can win Mara. He who delights in objects cognizant to the eye and etc. has gone under Mara's sway. That means if you delight in objects cognizant to eye, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind, you are under the properties of Mara, and Mara already got you. He who has attachment is entangled by Mara. So attachment is caused by Mara. Mara will overthrow him who is unrestrained in his or her senses, immoderate in his food, idle and weak. So if you are unrestrained in your senses, immoderate, if you don't have a moderation in your food, and you are idling and weak, Mara will get you. By attaining the noble eightfold path, one can be free from Mara. So if you want to get rid of Mara, free from Mara's, traps, you should try to attain Nibbana, noble eightfold path. The Samyutta records a conversation between Mara and Vajra. She has attained arahantship and tells Mara, there's no satta here who can come under your control. There's no being but a mere heap of sankharas. Suddha sankhara punjat, which means this Vajra was able to attain Nibbana, and Mara could not get her. So she was then sort of like, mocking on him that nobody can get people like us, because you can get anybody who is with the heap of sankharas, karmas, right? There are a lot of information, but I'm going to read a couple interesting things. Okay, in the Buddha Vansa commentary contain a very lively and detailed description of the temptation of the Buddha by Mara. Now everyone remembers how Buddha was enlightened, right? Awakened. At that time, the Mara's incident was the main event that we know. As the Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree immediately before his enlightenment, awakening, this account describe how Mara, the Devaputta, see, this is the Devaputta. That's why I'm telling. This is why I'm telling this. The particular Mara who was really troubling the Buddha and all the other monks and nuns, he was the Vasavatti Putta Deva Mara. He is the head god in the highest heaven, which you call Paranimita Vasavatti. Right? That's what it says. Seeing the Bodhisattva seated with the firm resolve of becoming Buddha, summon all his forces and advance against him. Those forces extended to a distance of 12 yojanas to the front of the Bodhisattva, 12 to the back, and 9 each to the right and to the left. Mara himself, 1,000-armed, rode on his elephant. So he has an elephant. So the elephant of Mara was called Girimekala. I think we can take a look of this elephant in here, I guess. This is Girimekala, I guess. So this is his, I'm taking this from Arya Magga. This is Girimekala elephant and his forces who was trying to distract the Buddha. In here, let's go back. "150 leagues in height. His followers assumed various fearsome shapes and were armed with dreadful weapons." Again, right? So his retinue, they were armed with, very dreadful and terrible weapons to, fear him, terrify him, make him horripilated. At Mara's approach, all the various devas, nagas, and others who were gathered around the Bodhisattva singing his praises, paying him homage, disappeared in headlong flight. The Bodhisattva was left alone, and he called his assistants the 10 parami which he had practiced to perfection. And we know that how he achieved peace with these people. Mara's army is described as being tenfold. These are the tenfold armies he had. The first consists of the lust, the second aversion, third hunger and thirst, fourth craving, fifth sloth and indolence or torpor, sixth cowardice, seven doubt, eight hypocrisy and stupidity, nine gains, fame, honor, glory, falsely obtained form. The tenth is the lowering of oneself and the contemning of others. I would say bragging and insulting other people. So these are the properties of Mara. These are the armies of Mara. Now, in other ways, I would say, um, if you are so lustful, if you are so greedy, if you are so angry, if you are so much bragging, you need to understand that you are promoting the Mara's properties, and you are with Mara's properties. So you have to get rid of those Mara's armies as soon as you can. Seeing the army on all sides, says Buddha, I go for to meet Mara with his equipage. He shall not make me yield ground, that army of thine. Right. So this is kind of a translation of something, and what we know at the end here of this defeat was that, let's take a look. Each division was faced by the Buddha. I mean, each army, there are 10, as I said to you. Each division was faced by the Buddha with one parami and was put to fight. So Buddha was using one parami to pacify. Mara's last weapon was the Chakka Buddha. But when he hurled it at the Buddha, it stood over him like a canopy of flowers. Still undaunted, Mara challenged the Buddha to show that the seat on which he sat was his by right. So Mara was questioning, Mara was trying to take the seat of the Buddha, saying that it's belonged to him. Mara's followers all shouted their evidence that the seat was Mara's, the Buddha, having no other witness, asked the earth to bear testimony on his behalf. And the earth roared in response. Mara and his followers fled in utter rout, and the Devas and others gathered round the Buddha to celebrate his victory. The sun set on the defeat of Mara. Thus, in brief, is the account of Buddha's conquest of Mara, greatly elaborated in later chronicles and illustrated in countless Buddhist shrines and temples with all the wealth of riotous color and fanciful imagery that gifted artists could command. Now, what happened was that once, actually, even the Devas were really terrified. They can't involve because Mara was that powerful. Because Mara is higher than the Devas. So Mara is living in a heaven which is higher than the normal Devas. We know the order of the Devas, Deva heavens: Chatu Maharajika, Yama, Tavatinsa, Tusita, Nimman Rati, Parnimita Vasavati. So this Vasavati Mara is living and is the head god in the highest heaven. So Devas can't do anything. They were watching. They were praying for the Buddha. They were praying the Buddha will win at the end. At the end, what happened? The earth was the testimony, and Buddha was touching the earth, and the earth was roaring, and then then that was kind of the proof for Buddha who is the real owner of that particular city. And then Mara and his armies, they fled, and Devas were blessing. Devas were surrounding the Buddha, and that's what happened at that time. There is no doubt that the Mara legend had its origin in the Padana. So there's a sutta called Padana. There, Mara is represented as visiting Gautama on the banks of the Niranjara, where he is practicing austerities and tempting him to abandon his striving and devote himself to good works. Gautama refers to Mara's army as being tenfold, which I told you. Remember when Prince Siddhartha, ascetic Siddhartha, was practicing his austere practices, Mara was trying to dissuade him. He was trying to, you remember that one of the deities went to the palace of Suddhodana, and King Suddhodana, he told the king that the Prince Siddhartha passed away. But on the other hand, Mara was trying to dissuade him. Hey, this is not for, just give it up and then get back to your, princely life in the palace. But Satik Siddhartha did not mind what he said. After Mara had retired, discomfited, he followed the Buddha for 7 years. So he followed the Buddha. He did not give it up, watching for any transgression on his path. But the quest was in vain, and like a crow attacking a rock. So Mara left Gautama in disgust. But something interesting here. The lute of Mara, who was so overcome with grief, slipped from his arm. Then in dejection, the yakka disappeared thence. This lute, according to commentary, was picked up by Sakka, the head god of Tavatinsa, and gave it to Panchasika. Remember, Panchasika was a very famous musician, and he used this particular lute, which was fallen from Mara, and because it was found out by Sakka and gave it to Panchasika. Interesting, right? Mara's daughters, we know that who they are, right? You can take a look of Mara's daughters in here. I took from Aryamagga. So Tanha, Rati, Raga. So these are the daughters of Mara, and Mara used his daughters to dissuade, discourage the Buddha, but it didn't work. It didn't work that way, but he was trying. He was trying that much, that hard to dissuade the Buddha. Let's see what we have about his daughters here. The Samyutta Nikaya, given also in a couple of places, especially a sutta called Ditaro Sutta, in which 3 daughters of Mara are represented as tempting the Buddha after his enlightenment. So now, when Mara knew that his 10 army, the armies could not do anything, so he used his daughters to do anything possible. Their names are Tanha, Arati, and Raga, and they are evidently personification of 3 of the 10 forces of in Mara's army, as given the Padhana Sutta. They assume numerous forms of varying age and charm, full of blandishment, but their attempts is vain, and they are obliged to admit defeat. So they were also defeated because the Buddha's concentration and his samadhi, his Buddhahood is that strong, and nobody could defeat him. Because if you are so much concentrated, if you are so much strong in your samadhi, nobody can do anything, Dhamma friends. So that's why even the Mara couldn't take the Buddha. Even his daughters couldn't take the Buddha. So that's why we have this beautiful, reliable, exquisite Dhamma. So we have to use this Dhamma, otherwise we fail in that. Mara can enter the heart of even of the inhabitants of Brahma world. So Brahma worlds are higher than the heavens, but even Mara can go in there and then go inside the hearts of these beings. In the Brahmani Mantanika Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya, one of the suttas in Majjhima Nikaya, Mara is spoken of as entering the hearts even of the inhabitants of the Brahma world. And there's a whole section of the conversation and stories happen between Mara and the Buddha in the Mara Samyutta, in the Samyutta Nikaya. And and Mara attacked the Buddha and his monks and nuns. Mara, here called Vasavatti, appeared before the Buddha and promised the Buddha kingdom and the whole world within 7 days if he would but turn back. Mara's temptations were not confined to monks and nuns. He tempted also laymen and women and tried to lure them from the path of goodness. Story of Dani and his wife. So Mara was kind of a funny person, and at some point he appeared in front of the Buddha and said, you should not do any of these things. I will give you the whole world, in a few days. But Buddha turned it down, and then it didn't work. Once, when the Buddha was preaching to the monks, Mara came in the guise of a bullock and broke their bowls. Okay, this incident was kind of terrifying. He broke all the bowls. I don't know why. I mean, he was really terrible in here. Once, when the Buddha was preaching to the monks, Mara came in the guise of a bullock and broke their bowls, which were standing in the air to dry. On another occasion, he made a great din so that the minds of the listening monks were distracted. So he's trying to distract monks, trying to meditate. Again, when the Buddha went for alms to Paṭisota, he entered into the Brahmin householders, and Buddha had to return with empty bowl. Sometimes he's doing something like this. Let's say Buddha is trying to go for Pindapata, alms round. Then he's going to tap into the minds of the people who are going to offer food, and then he's changing the minds of the people who are waiting to offer food, and they're going not to offer that. They're going to stop offering any food after that, because Mara is in their minds. It's pretty serious and dangerous. And at this point, I'm trying to tell you, there were a couple occasions where some monks committed suicide, took their lives. Mara was behind these monks and nuns, especially in this case monks. So he likes monks and nuns get discouraged when they can't attain a particular spiritual attainment. So when the monks and nuns get very frustrated, he knows that he can sort of push them into suicide. So in here, what has happened, Mara influenced Godika, is a monk, to commit suicide and tried to frighten Rahula in the guise of a huge elephant. In the account of Godika's suicide, there is a curious statement that after Godika died, Mara went about looking for his consciousness, Paṭisanta, next life, and the Buddha pointed him out to the monk, going about like a cloud of smoke. Later, Mara came to the Buddha like a little child. So Mara, after Arahant, he became an Arahant. So Godika was a monk and who was trying to practice Vedananupassana. He couldn't attain any of the spiritual attainments. And then what happened? He tried to cut his neck off, and then while he was cutting his neck off, he was practicing Vedananupassana. He attained Nibbana. But Mara didn't know. Mara thought he was reborn again, and he came to see the Buddha as a small child. And then what the Buddha said was, in here, later Mara came to the Buddha like a little child. We call it Kuddhadaraka Vanni, holding a Vailvalaya of golden color, and he questioned the Buddha about Godika. This probably refers to some dispute which arose among the monks regarding Godika's destiny, right? And the Buddha said, people like you can't ever know where the Arahants are going to be reborn. So he was really unhappy. He was very sad at that time in that incident till he left the Buddha. And there are other occasions where Mara tried to discourage nuns too. Alavika, Kisagutami, Soma, Vijaya, Uppalavanta, Chala, Upachala, Sisipachala, Selā, Vajra, Kema. So he was trying to discourage all these nuns too. So I want to show you once again the pictures of what I referred to from a couple of websites. Buddha Weekly. This is kind of a illustrative picture of Mara. He has a snake with his hand in his hand, and all these arms, all these weapons with him, and he's trying to snares people into 6 karmas. In here we saw his army, a lot of armies with different weapons. He has an elephant on the side called Girimekala, and 3 daughters too. and these were his daughters. So, Dhamma friends, uh, now you can understand what kind of a person is Mara. So Mara is a person who is trying to dissuade people. So I understand Mara is a person depending on this heavenly story, because he is the head god of two heavens, virtually, uh, both the Nimman Rati and Parinidavasavati, so that he is always discouraging people who want to escape him. If people trying to escape him seriously, he want to get them. He really wants to distract those beings. So you have to be very careful. If you are really serious, you have to keep your mind very strong, uh, because sometimes if you are really strong in your practice, uh, Mara's forces can arise in different senses. So you have to keep a balance of your understanding, your sati sampajanya panya practices. So in today's talk, what we've been talking is that who created the puppet, the this body. So this body or puppet was not created by oneself. It was not self-created or created by other people. It was created uh, uh, because of a reason, cause. That cause is tanha, which is covered with avijja. When you cease that cause, which you call tanha, you are breaking up your samsara, so that Mara will not be able to find a place to control it. Okay, so let's share all the good karmas with the departed people and the deities. I don't see any questions here. Okay. May all the good karmas be shared by all the departed relatives who passed away in the name of all of us. All of us, may they be happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idam me nyati nang hotu sukita huntu nyateo. Idam me nyati nang hotu sukita huntu nyateo. Idam me nyati nang hotu sukita huntu nyateo. May all the good karmas be shared by all the deities, nagas. May they be happy and peaceful. May they also attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ittavata cha ammehi sambatang punya sampadang. Sabbe deva anumodantu, sabbe bhuta anumodantu. Sabbe satta anumodantu, sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha cha bummattha deva naga mahindika. Punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhang tulu kasasanang. Chirang rakkhang tuli sanang. Chirang rakkhang tumang paranti. Finally, let's make a great wish. May all the good karmas we've been accumulating in all these ways be helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana silisse nichang baddha pachayino chattaru dhamma vadhanti ayuvanno sukham balang ayurarogya sampatti sangha sampatti me viche ato nibbana sampatti iminati saminjetu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Before I close, I have to make an announcement too. In this Wednesday's discussion, Abhidhamma discussion, under which comes under Dhamma Paṭisota, I'm going to be talking the first discussion about the Cetasikas, which you call mental factors. I'm going to be doing an introduction about the whole lot of Cetasikas. There are 52 Cetasikas, and then I'm going to be specifically talking about Anya Samana Cetasikas, which is the first part of Cetasika. There are 13 Anya Samana Cetasikas, which comprises of 7 universals and 6 occasionals. So with that in your mind, I want to close this. So have a very good night. And then if you are in Asia, have a very good day ahead of your time. Thank you. Take care.